On the early morning of January 11, 2025, Los Angeles lay sprawled beneath a gray, ominous sky, a sign of a disaster waiting to erupt. Chilly winds swept through the city, carrying an air of anxiety and anticipation. While weather channels continuously warned of extremely dry conditions, no one could imagine that a devastating wildfire was quietly forming in the hills to the north of the city. In the meantime, Hollywood superstar Leonardo DiCaprio was preparing for a charity event he had passionately worked on for months. With a host of film awards and renowned movies, Leonardo was not only known as an outstanding actor but also as a passionate environmental activist. He had dedicated his entire career to raising awareness about climate change and wildlife protection. Through his charity and community programs, Leo had achieved numerous milestones in fundraising for nature conservation projects. His mind was constantly brimming with creative ideas aimed at fostering positive change. At this moment, these endeavors were shaping into an indispensable part of his life. Simultaneously, as news of the spreading fires came in, Leo immediately decided to join the rescue efforts. He was not only a symbol of the environmental protection movement, he was a man ready to face any challenge to save nature. Clad in fire-resistant gear, with tousled hair and a steadfast gaze, those around him noticed something special in the way he confronted this crisis. Confidence and determination radiated from him. Upon arriving at the disaster site, Leo sensed the stifling atmosphere thick with smoke. The walls of fire seemed to encroach upon the surrounding space, creating a horrifying scene. Before him lay a forest engulfed in flames, and the distant cries and pleas for help pierced his heart. He felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. This fight was not only against the fire but also a battle to save the lives around him. Leo swiftly gathered a team of volunteers and firefighters, beginning to devise a response plan. He split the team into smaller groups, targeting the highest risk areas. "We need to get this under control quickly. Let's spread out and find those who need help. Remember, our strength lies in unity," Leo urged. While his team was working, a 10-year-old girl caught Leo's attention. She stood alone at the edge, clutching a piece of cloth. Her eyes revealed panic and fear. Leo quickly realized she was searching for a small dog she had lost amidst the blaze. Everyone around was busy with rescue operations, but Leo knew he couldn't leave that girl behind. "Don't worry, sweetheart, we'll find it," Leo said, taking her hand and leading her toward the nearby areas to search. In that moment, he felt a profound connection with the girl. This was not just a mission to save someone but also a fight to protect the innocence that children represent. The two navigated through piles of debris, stepping cautiously into the blazing areas. With the support of the volunteers, Leo found the dog cowering in a dark corner of a half-burned house. Overjoyed, the girl hugged the dog tightly, tears streaming down her face. Leo felt his heart swell witnessing such happiness. But the joy was short-lived as a sudden strong gust of wind intensified the flames, forcing them to retreat quickly. As people began to leave the danger zone, Leo heard another cry for help coming from a different direction. A man was trapped in a burning house. Although the team had cautioned that the situation was extremely perilous, Leo couldn't sit idly by. "We can't leave anyone behind," he shouted, driven by his command. "Help me pull him out." In that decisive moment, Leo and a few other volunteers rushed into the house, breathing in the suffocating air, searching for the trapped man. They had to run through thick smoke, dodging charred wooden pieces. Finally, they managed to bring the man outside, safe but very weak and exhausted. Leo's team hurried him to safety, but the dark shadow of the flames loomed over them. Minutes later, as he stood next to those they had rescued, a sudden fire blazed up fiercely, rapidly spreading and worsening the situation. Leo and his team felt like everything was turning upside down. They were truly in a battle not only with the flames but also to protect the survivors. Chaos reigned, and with the sound of sirens echoing, Leo felt the pressure mounting. His heart raced, and the smoke had now obscured his vision. Though courage was necessary in times like these, Leo realized that time was running out. He decided to lead the team away from the dangerous area and toward safer ground. "We can't go back. Find a safe area and wait for assistance," he shouted, but inside, he felt heavy thinking of those still inside the burning house. While guiding the group to safety, suddenly a scream for help rang out from behind, a woman trapped in a car. In that moment, Leo no longer thought of his own safety. Casting aside his worries, he turned back once again without thinking. "Don't worry, I'm coming," Leo yelled, racing toward the vehicle. When he arrived, everything around him seemed to freeze. For a moment, all sounds from the world faded away, leaving only the crackle of flames. He felt a heavy pressure from the ground, debris, shards, and the chaos of the fire swirled around him, but Leo did not step back. He desperately tried to force the jammed car door open. One thought dominated his mind: "I must save her." When the door finally popped open, the sight of the woman appeared before Leo. She was a mother clutching her child tightly. Their desperate eyes conveyed an indescribable fear. In the mother's arms was a nearly unconscious child, tears streaming down their face. Leo swiftly pulled them both from the car, but this move came at a great cost. A strong gust of wind suddenly appeared, and the fire roared to life more fiercely than ever. Leo felt intense heat behind him, dense clouds of smoke whipping past like a violent storm. In that fateful moment, he saw flames swirling, ready to consume everything in their path. He tried to pull both of them away, but the situation was far more difficult than he had imagined. "Run! Get out of here!" Leo shouted, but in that miraculous instant between life and death, he realized he no longer had the strength to run. One of Leo's arms got caught in rubble, leaving him trapped. He struggled, eyes fixed on the mother and child. In a dizzying moment, Leo realized that all he had done could not compare to the sacred bond of motherhood. An unbound love. The flames drew closer, their hissing and crackling filling the air, overwhelming his mind. Just before everything slipped away and met destruction, Leo felt warmth from a gentle light. It was the sacrifice given away and the love he had poured into this life. A significant question arose in his mind: is it worth it to sacrifice everything for hope in this life? In that split second between life and death, Leo's heart surged with unimaginable strength. He found power from within. He pushed the car door open and all three of them managed to escape the danger zone together. However, the journey to save his humanity had left a large part of him burned. When Leo got the mother and child safely outside, his breathing became more labored than ever. His body was covered in soot and sweat, but his heart was filled with joy for saving two lives. Seeing them safe, he smiled. But just at that moment, a strong wind swept through, flames began to engulf his body. In an irreversible situation, he started to feel the pain. And then, in the terrified gaze of those around him, Leo began to back away, becoming the last flame of sacrifice for others. Until the very last moment, he still remembered to smile, silently sending a message of love to humanity. Live to the fullest. News of Leonardo DiCaprio's death spread rapidly like a wildfire. Social media, television stations, and news outlets everywhere reported: actor Leonardo DiCaprio dies saving people in a wildfire. Stories of bravery and love for nature shook the world immediately. The world suddenly halted. Many could not believe that someone with such a noble heart as Leo had left forever. Celebrities, from colleagues in the film industry to politicians, voiced their sorrow over this loss. They shared memories of Leo, his contributions to society, and the actions of a man always fighting for the survival of the planet. The admiration and gratitude for him were beyond words. A memorial service for Leo was held at one of Hollywood's famous venues, gathering numerous friends, family, colleagues, and admirers. The stage was adorned with fresh flowers, twinkling lights, and banners reading "Thank you, Leo." Applause and cries filled the air. Everyone sang songs about nature and environmental protection, and a lengthy clip of Leo's philanthropic footsteps was shown, reminding everyone of what he had done for the world. Leonardo DiCaprio's legacy was not only the films he had made but also the environmental actions to which he dedicated himself. After his passing, numerous environmental organizations decided to establish a fund named after Leonardo DiCaprio to maintain forest and wildlife protection activities. Young activists rose up, calling on everyone to act for the survival of the planet we inhabit. Leo's legacy would live on not only in the memories of all who loved him but also in practical actions aimed at building a better future. Every tree saved, every river preserved, every wild animal protected embodies the efforts and heart of a man who worked tirelessly to make this world a better place. The image of Leo, the hero of the environmental protection movement, will forever be etched in the hearts of the people here. He wasn't just a star, he was a symbol of compassion and indomitable spirit. This tragic end serves as a wake-up call, reminding us that this planet is precious and we are responsible for its protection. He may have left us, but the legacies he left behind will always be a source of inspiration for those who continue down the path he blazed. Leonardo DiCaprio's death is like a deep note in the symphony of life, but also like a fierce fire illuminating the path many will walk together toward a better world. His legacy is not just a sorrowful event but a hope for the next generation in the fight to protect the planet. Each person, one by one, has been continuously discussing Leo's selfless sacrifice and dedication, so that his dreams may live on in our actions. Every time there's a storm or a fire, people will find reminders about Leo. Live like a hero, live for yourself and also for those you love. Because like Leo, we all have the capacity to make the world a better place. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio, born November 11, 1974, is an American actor and film producer. Known for his works in biopic and period films, he is a recipient of many awards, including the Academy Award, the BAFTA Award, and 3 Golden Globes. As of 2019, his films have grossed over $7.2 billion worldwide, and he has been ranked 8 times on the annual list of the highest-paid actors in the world. Born in Los Angeles, DiCaprio began his career in the late 1980s by appearing in television commercials. He had a recurring role in the sitcom Parenthood, 1990-1991, and landed his first major film role as author Tobias Wolff in This Boy's Life, 1993. He received critical acclaim and his first Oscar nomination for his role as a developmentally disabled boy in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, 1993. DiCaprio achieved international fame with romantic roles in Romeo plus Juliet, 1996, and Titanic, 1997. After the latter became the highest-grossing film in history at the time, he scaled back his workload for a few years. In an effort to shed the image of a romantic hero, DiCaprio sought roles in other genres, including the crime films Catch Me If You Can, 2002, and Gangs of New York, 2002. The latter marked his first collaboration with director Martin Scorsese. DiCaprio continued to gain acclaim for his performances in the biographical film The Aviator, 2004, the political thriller Blood Diamond, 2006, the crime drama The Departed, 2006, and the romantic drama Revolutionary Road, 2008. He then produced environmental documentaries and starred in successful projects by renowned directors, including the action thriller Inception, 2010, the western Django Unchained, 2012, the biopic The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013, the survival drama The Revenant, 2015, the film for which he won the Academy Award for Best Actor, and the dramedies Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019, and Don't Look Up, 2021, and the crime drama Killers of the Flower Moon, 2023. DiCaprio is the founder of Appian Way Productions, a production company that has produced several of his films, and the documentary series Greensburg, 2008 to 2010, and the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting environmental awareness. As a UN Messenger of Peace, he frequently supports charitable activities. In 2005, he was honored as a Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters for his contributions to the arts, and in 2016, he was included in Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people in the world. DiCaprio was voted one of the 50 greatest actors of all time in Empire magazine's 2022 reader poll. As an active celebrity in the climate change movement, DiCaprio believes that global warming is the #1 environmental challenge facing our planet. Wanting to learn about ecology from a young age, he watched documentaries about the decline of rainforests and the loss of species and habitats. In 1998, he founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting environmental awareness. The organization supports groups and campaigns committed to ensuring a viable future for Earth and produces short web documentaries such as Water Planet and Global Warming. The foundation has also funded debt for nature swaps. As of 2018, the foundation had funded over 200 projects, providing $100 million in support. He is a passionate advocate for many environmental organizations and serves on the board of the World Wildlife Fund and the International Fund for Animal Welfare. DiCaprio owns environmentally friendly hybrid electric cars. His use of private jets and large yachts has faced criticism for being hypocritical due to their substantial carbon footprints. DiCaprio hosted the 2000 National Earth Day celebration, where he interviewed Bill Clinton about plans to tackle global warming and environmental issues. He spoke at the American leg of Live Earth in 2007. DiCaprio donated $1 million to the Wildlife Conservation Society at the Tiger Summit in Russia. DiCaprio's perseverance in reaching the event after experiencing 2 flight delays led then Prime Minister Vladimir Putin to call him a mujik or a real man. In 2013, he hosted a charity art auction, The 11th Hour, which raised nearly $38.8 million for his foundation. In September 2014, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon appointed DiCaprio as a UN Messenger of Peace focusing on climate change. Later that month, he delivered a keynote speech at the UN Climate Summit that reached approximately 1 billion people worldwide. In 2015, he announced plans to divest from fossil fuels. He spoke again at the UN in April 2016 before signing the Paris Agreement on climate change. In a meeting with Pope Francis in 2016, DiCaprio donated to charity and discussed environmental issues with him. Days later, possibly influenced by this meeting, the Pope announced he would produce a charity film. DiCaprio visited Indonesia in early 2016, where he criticized the rainforest clearing methods employed by the palm oil industry. In July 2016, his foundation donated $15.6 million to help protect wildlife and indigenous rights, along with climate change mitigation. In October of that year, he and Mark Ruffalo supported the Standing Rock Tribe's opposition to the Dakota Access Pipeline. In April 2017, DiCaprio protested against President Donald Trump's lack of action on climate change by attending the People's Climate March. In July, a charity auction and concert hosted by DiCaprio's foundation raised more than $30 million in a single night. The DiCaprio Foundation donated $100 million in December 2018 to combat climate change. In May 2021, DiCaprio pledged $43 million for conservation efforts across the Galapagos Islands. DiCaprio supported Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential election. In March 2020, DiCaprio attended a fundraising event for Joe Biden at the home of Paramount Pictures executive Sherry Lansing. Leading up to the 2020 election, DiCaprio narrated a Netflix documentary series on voting rights, stating, "We may all be born equal, but we will never truly be equal until we all vote. So, don't wait." On social media, DiCaprio urged voters to plan their voting and highlighted efforts to suppress voters and ID laws, citing vote writers as a source of information and support. In 2023, DiCaprio testified in the trial of Prakash Michel, who was accused of participating in a foreign influence campaign against the Obama and Trump administrations. In October 2024, DiCaprio formally endorsed Democratic candidate Kamala Harris for president, citing her policies on climate change mitigation while criticizing Republican opponent Donald Trump. In 1998, DiCaprio and his mother donated $35,000 to the Leonardo DiCaprio Computer Center at a library in Los Feliz. In May 2009, DiCaprio joined Kate Winslet, director James Cameron, and Canadian singer Celine Dion in a fundraising campaign to financially support the nursing home fees for Milvina Dean, a Titanic survivor residing there. DiCaprio and Winslet donated $20,000 to support Dean. In 2010, he donated $1 million for relief efforts in Haiti following the earthquake. In 2011, DiCaprio participated in the Legal Defense Fund's campaign to rescue Tony, a tiger that had spent the past decade at a truck stop in Grosse Tete, Louisiana. DiCaprio donated $61,000 to the LGBTQ rights group GLAAD in 2013. In 2016, DiCaprio donated $65,000 to the annual fundraiser for the Armenia Children's Fund, where he was a special guest of his friend and honorary president Tony Shafrazi. To support relief efforts following Hurricane Harvey, 2017, DiCaprio donated $1 million through his foundation. In 2020, DiCaprio's foundation donated $3 million for wildfire relief efforts in Australia. Amid the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, media reported that DiCaprio donated $10 million to support Ukraine, although the Associated Press stated that this figure was inaccurate. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to help motivate me to create more interesting videos. I look forward to seeing you